Hi everyone, my name is Karen La Rosa and welcome to my channel. This is a new thing I've been trying. I want to see what you guys think of the videos. I want to give you guys advice and to really just share my knowledge with you because I have a whole lot of it, but I want to actually put it into practice and show you guys the results along the way. So right now I'm at a point in my life where I'm like trying to save. I'm trying to do a million things and actually implement all my plans and just get started and live for me. So I wanted to share with you guys what I do from A through Z on this transformative journey. And those transformations include physical transformations, mental transformations, spiritual transformations. And I just want you guys to see how I apply these things that I'm going to be doing to my everyday life, all the little things that you need to do to change in order to see results. Because if not, I feel like when we're constantly living the same day over and over, and because of that we see no changes, and then we come back to our present day and we're just kind of like, okay, why haven't I changed? Why isn't this different? Why is my life not perfect? Like, regardless of the fact your life is not going to be perfect, there's always going to be something that you're going to have to improve in, and that's okay. And life will give you those tests to see if you've improved in those aspects or if you need to do better. And it's really interesting because the moment that you make the choice to change and want to have different results in your life, you will automatically start seeing those changes little by little. And it took me, let me tell you, I've been through hell and back with certain things where I'm just like, okay, if I would have just done this sooner, this would have been like this, I would have been at this point already. So it's just so many things that you just kind of have to take a step back and analyze each part of your life, so you can be like, okay, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to change. But we're also going to learn to fall in love with the process as we go, because if you don't fall in love with the process, you're not going to get that end result that you're yearning for, right? So you have to fall in love with the fact that you're not where you want to be at yet, that you're working on it, and then before you know it, you're going to have it. But you need to want it and feel it so that it feels like you're already at that end goal that you're looking to have. So first things first, physical glow up. So a lot of times we're like, okay, what do I do? How do I get better? What do I need to do to change? I want to change my look. Sometimes we go all crazy and we're like, I'm gonna go get lash extensions, I'm gonna dye my hair, I'm gonna chop it off. I've been a victim of those, so don't worry, you're not alone. But a lot of times that physical glow up that we think we're getting, we don't feel satisfied because there's something within us that hasn't changed, right? So yes, you can change your physical appearance and do things to like make it quote unquote better, but at the same time you can do all these changes but still not feel fulfilled within, right? So, and that kind of happened to me where I was like, oh, I cut my hair and I was just doing all these things to like feel better, and I thought would just change how I felt. And then reality was that I still went back to square one and I still felt empty, and I still felt like, and then I was just kind of like looking for the next thing. I'm like, okay, maybe I should dye my hair now. And you're just constantly looking for that next thing that's like external to make it change your internal world, and that just doesn't work that way, right? Like, you can't just expect things outside of you to be what change how you feel on the inside. That's not really how that works. I know some people say money can buy happiness, getting into a relationship and all this stuff. People think that that's what changes who they are inside, but really it's you yourself who changes who you are inside, right? So like I said, you can change as much as you want on the outside, but if you don't change what's going on in there and in here, you're just gonna be the same person, just different appearance, and that's about it. People will have a different impression of you at first, but it will still end up being the same result, right? So, and that goes for a lot of things, for friendships, relationships with your family. So you just have to kind of like see, okay, I want to change my physical appearance, but at the same time you have to change the internal aspects that will go along with that, right? So, okay, second thing, internally, how you change. So one of the things that people have preached about, and you see it, it's really interesting how you can see this in religion, you can see it in people who are not religious, people who are spiritual. Like, you have your prayer / meditation, right? Like, so if you're not religious, you can see it as a meditation. If you're religious and you want to see it as a prayer, you can. So it's really interesting because the moment that you sit with yourself in silence and you give yourself that moment of clarity where you can be like, okay, this is where I want to be. These are the things I want to change. This is what I need to do, and this is how I'm going to get there. A lot of times we're like, okay, what do I need to do to reach my end result? And really, it's just like, okay, take a step back, right? Sit with yourself, start thinking to yourself, okay, where do I want to be? How am I going to do it? Right? A lot of times the how will come with that manifestation, right? With that aspect of you saying, okay, I want to be here and I'm going to do it, right? The believing in yourself aspect. So you just have to kind of sit with yourself and be like, okay, I'm going to sit down, meditate, kind of figure out where I want to be, what I want to be doing. Because a lot of times we don't know what we want to do, right? And we always blame it on the fact that, oh, like I went to college and I wanted to do this, or we're working somewhere, we're like, oh, I want to do this because a lot of times we mold ourselves, right, to where we work, what we do, the people we're with, right? And they also say we're the 5 people that we most hang out with. That's why I'm very selective about who I hang out with. And I always get told, oh, you don't have any friends, you don't have this, you don't have that. And it's like, I just haven't come across the people who I truly want to be around and I want to be similar to, right? So I haven't found those people, right? So it's really interesting to look at it that way, because then you don't feel so bad for yourself all the time, right? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, go out, meet new people, start dating, have fun, and you're just like, yeah, but like, do I get what I want out of that? Like, is that truly what I want? Like, do I just want to be surrounded by people all the time? People who are not adding value to my life? Do I just want to be in a relationship to not feel alone, right? And that was one of the things that was like the hardest on me, because I settled for less before, like when it came to relationships, dating, because I didn't want to be alone, right? And I hated the pain of feeling alone more than just being with someone who didn't really fulfill what I wanted in my like future partner, right? And because of that, I don't want to say wasted time, because you learn your lessons as you go, and no time is really wasted, no matter what people tell you. It just everything just kind of plays out how it's supposed to be. Yes, a lot of times it takes a little bit longer for us to learn our lessons than most people. It just depends. But you just kind of have to be like, okay, so what do I want in a partner? And that to me was the hardest thing. The day I sat down and I'm like, okay, this is what I want in my partner, I kid you not, I literally turned around and I'm like, yep, okay, time to delete Hinge, time to delete any dating app I use. Like, I even wanted to delete Instagram, because I'm like, I don't want anybody to communicate with me unless it's my husband. And it's so funny to see it that way, because now I'm like, wow, I know he's coming. And then when you just feel that confidence in you, where you're like, I know there's someone who checks off all those boxes that I'm looking for and will add value to my life. When you sit down and you're calm about it, and you're no longer looking and searching and using the apps, and whoever it is will literally come to you. And I know he's out there somewhere, he's getting ready for me, just like I need to get ready for him. But it's really interesting when you start looking at it with that perspective, because then you're calm and you know that it's coming, right? You know that they're on their way, right? They're just like in the factory being made. I don't know. But yeah, as I was saying, so when you start looking at it that way, it changes your perspective. And we go back to what was mentioned at the beginning of this video, which was falling in love with the process. You start falling in love with the process. You fall in love with yourself, right? You fall in love with yourself. You realize that you're worth all the things that you have to offer. Like, everything that you are, the person that you are, the personality, like the humor, or if it's not humor, and everything that you are, that you like about yourself, and you know that other people are gonna like about you too, because you love it, those things are what another person will see in you, and little will you realize that that's the person that you were looking for this entire time, right? And instead of wasting so much time looking, you could have just sat back, relaxed, and focused on other things about yourself that you needed to improve in, right? So I always thought to myself, I'm like, oh, I suck at commitment. I just find the wrong ones. I listen to what my friends say. And then really it's like, wait, the reality is I just didn't want to be alone. And I felt like the more time that passes, that I'm just gonna end up alone, and that's it. There's not gonna be anyone for me. And then I'm like, yo, there's 7 billion people in the world, and we're really worried about not being able to find the right person. Like, you know what, I'd rather just enjoy myself and enjoy my life and have fun learning about me than sitting around waiting for Prince Charming to show up at my door, because that's the reality of it, right? A lot of times we're waiting, and then we're so focused on that we forget the true purpose of what it is to live and to enjoy your life alone, especially because once you're in a relationship, you lose a lot of things that you don't have when you have that freedom, right? So it's really interesting. Now, next thing, how do you start your internal glow up? You start your internal glow up by first looking within at the things that you aren't happy within yourself, right? So one of the things I've always been one to kind of not question, but have it in the back of my head is, what do I want to do with my life, right? I'll go from one day saying, oh, I'm going to be a business owner, to, oh, I'm going to excel in my career, or I'm going to do this, I'm just like all over the place. And I feel like you just need to kind of sit with yourself and be like, okay, I have these options. At the end of the day, you're the creator of your own reality, right? So you are the one who gets to have that say, okay, I want to go this route, or I want to go that route, or I want to do all of them. But regardless of the fact, if you want to go all routes and you want to do everything you've ever thought of doing, you still need to start somewhere, right? You need to start in stage 1 and be like, okay, I want to start with this route. Let me see how I do. If I fail, if I succeed, I'm gonna learn. I'm just gonna get better. I'm just gonna keep leveling up, baby, because that's what you're doing at the end of the day, right? So you're gonna go whichever route you want. You just need to pick one, right? It's just like the gym. It's either you go to the gym, you work out at home, you go to workout classes. You just need to pick one and start, right? You need to start. The more you're trying to perfect and try to find the way to do things, and the more time you are wasting, okay? And that's hardest pill for me to swallow has been that, because I start something, I stop, I start something else, and then I stop, and then I get discouraged when I fail. And then really it's just do it, failing and all, keep going and doing it, and then see where you end up, and just fall in love with the fact that you're doing it. Like, the moment I realized that, I would come to work and I would be working, doing my thing, and then I would be thinking in the back of my head of what I was going to work on with my business. And I was like, oh my God, I have this idea, I'm going to do that. And then I would get another idea. So you just need to sit down and be like, okay, give me the strength to find the creativity within me to work on this, or this, okay? Just keep asking for it. Keep thinking about it, and just be like, something out there, whoever's out there, give me the strength to, and then it will come to you. It will come to you when the moments you least expect it, okay? But you need to actually put in that little bit of effort and be like, okay, I'm giving myself the options. I'm looking at my options. I just don't know which one to choose. And you're gonna see the weirdest freaking coincidences are gonna pop up in your life, and you're gonna be like, crazy because I asked for a sign on this day and I got it on this day. Crazy because I wasn't sure about this and this and this, and now I have it so clear. I have so much clarity, right? And so that was something I actually did myself, because I was like, okay, I need to get back into my business. How do I do this? I'm working full-time. I feel like I have no time to do anything else. I go home and I also help my family with stuff there. So where am I going to begin, right? Because a lot of times we have our excuses like, oh no, I'm busy with my family, I can't. Or I work all day, and I'm too tired at night. No, if you really want to accomplish something, you're going to do it no matter what time of day it is, okay? Because it's insane to me that I used to complain about not having enough time when I work in 8 to 5. Okay, I work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The moment I get out, I get home. It's an hour drive home, an hour home, and an hour back every single day, right? An hour home after work, and then an hour to work. So that's already 2 hours of my whole day wasted, right? In just driving. So what do I do in those 2 hours? It's something called habit stacking. So then you have, for example, you can find something to do in that time, right? So I'm like, when I know that, okay, I have an hour to go to work, I put on a podcast. I listen to something that's going to give me ideas for my business, ideas on how to manifest, ideas on how to make my life better. Okay, you need to inform yourself. Put on a video or something, or listen to a podcast that talks about what you're trying to learn or something you're interested in. Okay, because you're going to be surprised at the results it's going to give you. An hour going and an hour back every single day of something that you want to have more information on, you're gonna learn so much, so much. Unfortunately, you can't read on your way to work, but you can listen to an audiobook of something that you want to learn about, or a self-help book that you've always wanted to listen to, right? So you have no excuses if you need information, okay? Because if you work 2 jobs, you can also do the same thing, going from one job to the next, and then going from those jobs to your house. Okay, so that's just an idea that is something that can help you, such as habit stacking, which is doing 2 things in one, 2 habits that complement each other, right? Like if you have to go somewhere and you want to listen to something on the way there, that's also something you can do. But yeah, so sorry, as I was saying, my other thing is, I had told myself, I'm like, okay, I don't have enough time, I can't do this, I can't do that, it's impossible. I would wake up at 4 every single day. From 4 to 6, I would have enough time to shower, have breakfast, meditate, read, plan my things for the day, which you do that the night before, by the way. That helps a lot too. But I had enough time to plan my stuff for the day, kind of look at what I wanted to do that I planned the night before, and you just begin. You just start. And then I would have an hour to work. From 8 to 5, I would work. When I would leave at 5 o'clock, I would have another going home, and then that would give me enough time to just be like, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do when I get home. And then the moment I get home, I help my family, whatever, make dinner, whatever it is I need to do, and then I go. And from like 9 to 2 a.m., that was my time to shine, baby. That was my time to shine. That was my, okay, here, you have this amount of time. I felt so blessed. You just have to be so grateful for what you have, because then you realize how important it is and how other people don't have it. Or other people have even less time and they're more accomplished than you. That's when you just, it's like reality slaps you in the face and you're like, okay, if he can do it, why can't I? What excuse do I have that I can't do it? Because I'm too tired? Then how bad do you want it? Like, how bad do you want it if you're sitting there saying you're too tired to do something? That means you don't want it. That means you don't want it as much as you think you do. For me, the pain of living the same day over and over and over again, that pain was worse than the pain of staying up late, than the pain of working out even when I didn't feel like it. When I was on my period and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to talk to anybody or hear anything. When I was up to here with work at my full time, and I was still making it work. Like, you just have to want it so bad that you realize no excuse is good enough. No excuse is good enough to not do it. Okay? And especially for me, I feel like I would constantly hear that there's no excuse, and I would excuse myself. Right? I would be like, oh, but I have it like this. Oh, my family's like this. Or at work, my boss is like this. And there's no excuse. There's no excuse. You could be stressed up to here, but at the end of the day, you still need to find what you need to do to reach your goals. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to do it for you. Yeah, when you come to realize too that no one's coming to save you, that's when you're going to be like, whoa, okay, clearly I only have myself. I can only help myself. So I need to do something about it. You have no excuse. You just need to make the plan and get there. You don't know how to get there? Watch a video. Inform yourself, read a book. There's no excuse. No excuse. Anything you want to learn, the information's already out there. The information's already out there. So I'm telling you right now, ask for those signs. Look at your surroundings, look at your world, the world you live in, right? Because everybody has their own world going on, right, in their head. Look at the world you live in and ask yourself, where do you begin? And it's just by beginning. that's where you begin. You just begin by beginning. Like, you just have to start. You don't know where? Okay, perfect. Makes it even easier for you to begin because you don't know where. So you're just going to start wherever, right? Until you get a flow going, until you understand more of where you want to be at, and just go. So it was super hard, and it was super hard making this video because for the longest I've told myself, okay, I'm going to start YouTube. And when I tell you, I've always been trying to find the perfect time. And now I'm literally recording this video on my lunch break, okay, with like 10 minutes left of my lunch break. I've been recording for like 20 minutes. But you have no excuse, and you just need to do it. And this video is literally going up today, and I don't care. And that's it. And I'm just going to keep posting, and I'm going to keep informing you guys. And yes, my videos will probably get better over time, and they'll have more of a flow to them. Instead of now where I'm just like, it feels like word vomit. But at least I'm doing it, and I just have no excuse. And I like it because you look back and then you're kind of like, damn, why was I excusing all my actions before? Why wasn't I doing something about it? And when you actually start, you're going to start questioning, damn, why didn't I start before? Why did I wait so long? Why did I, you start asking yourself those questions, and then that's when you're like, okay, you know what? What matters is I started. And I'm not giving myself any more excuses, and neither are you. So, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was word vomits, but I needed to get the message out there, and I know some of you guys needed to hear this, and I feel like I even needed to hear it myself. Just get started. Just do it. Just start, and don't look back. And just look forward, and look at the now. Enjoy the now, and look at what's coming. Look at your future. Look at all the things that are going to be flourishing in your life and coming your way. And I wish you guys the very best, and I will see you in my next video.